Hey everybody, welcome back to Flag/Fan Friday. Hope you liked the Libya episode. Okay, so this is the part where I usually address the things that should have been either corrected or expounded a little bit more on in the episode. Okay, for one, I didn't explain why Gaddafi denounced Switzerland. The reason why mostly had to do with the fact that his son was arrested after being convicted of quote-unquote beating domestic employees during his stay. Gaddafi cut off exports and ties. Also, after doing a little bit more research, not every married couple received money from the government, and not everybody received oil stipend money as well. The percentages didn't always exactly match up, but the point is, I don't think everybody was involved. Which brings us to the discussion of Gaddafi. Now, a lot of you had different contrasting comments in regards to your opinions on Gaddafi. Some of you said he wasn't that bad, some of you said he was a monster, and what it really comes down to is this is a very complex topic that isn't easily addressed in such a short amount of time. From my observations, it kind of seemed like people who were either not Libyan or not from Libya had a more like sympathetic response to the Gaddafi thing, whereas actual Libyans in Libya were kind of like more leaning against him. And I feel like this is kind of like the mainstream viewpoint of a lot of people in political discourse discussions. I feel like a lot of times we in the West are taught to immediately default our mindsets to this self-flagellation ideology that we must pay for the sins of intervention, when in reality it's not that simple, and you have to talk to a lot of different people on the spectrum to come to your own convictions, and especially those that were directly in the epicenter of conflict. This is why I like to talk to natives of the countries when I'm doing research for the country episodes that I do. I mean, I get a comment like this from a guy who's not Libyan. The idea that Gaddafi was a bad leader is a very Western viewpoint and a little short-sighted. Yeah, he wasn't the best, but women had more rights than some similar countries, free education and healthcare, the GMR, etc. And after NATO's intervention, the country went pretty downhill with militia groups and a civil war. But then again, I get a comment like this from a Libyan. I am a Libyan and live in Benghazi. For anyone saying Gaddafi was good, he was not. He was a mass murderer. He invested next to nothing in education and healthcare and infrastructure. It was free, but it was of lower tier case. The great man-made river remains mostly incomplete, and where people could get money from the government getting married 100% never existed. Gaddafi ruled Libya like a gangster through deception, lies, kidnappings, and assassinations. But then again, I did get some Libyans who said they were kind of like 50-50. I guess after kind of conglomerating all of the information that I got from native Libyans, the consensus I mostly got was, yes, our country is kind of in an unfavorable state right now. There is conflict, there is war, but overall, it was mostly kind of a good thing that Gaddafi was deposed of, despite the good things that he may have done for the country, which I guess kind of concludes to the notion that actions may speak louder than words, but they don't necessarily always redeem a character. Anyway, the whole thing is way too crazy. I can't go on because it's just going to take forever. Oh, and I forgot to mention famous Libyans. And the reason why is because there weren't too many that were like really crazy internationally famous. I mean, I guess the most famous one was Gaddafi. But yeah, here are some ones that I researched and ones that you guys mentioned. Nasser el-Mizdawi, Ahmed Fakhroum, Nadia Ali, even though she's Pakistani American, but she was born in Tripoli. Revolutionaries Omar Mukhtar and Suleiman al-Baruni, Greek mathematician and astronomer Eratosthenes, basketball player Suleiman Ali Nashnoush, and writer Ahmed Rafiq al-Mhadoui. Oh my gosh, so many things to talk about. All right, let's just jump into the flag thing, shall we? Without further ado. Alright, so the Libya episode was a little tricky because it's like a place that has changed so much over time in so many ways, and there's so many details. And speaking of historical changes, the flag. The flag of Libya is a horizontal tricolor of red, black, and green, with the black band twice the height of the other two bands, as a white crescent and star sits in the middle, of course representing Islam, or more specifically the beginning of a lunar month, as well as the smiling hope to illuminate through the darkness. The green represents the wealth and agriculture, as well as the future prosperity of the nation. The black stands for the dark days under Italian occupation, whereas the red stands for That was actually animated by our old Kiwi friend, Jared. You guys remember Jared, right? He decided to fill in for the animation this week. It's been a while. And you can actually follow him on Twitch. He does live streams every so often. Now, keep in mind, this flag was actually kind of used twice. It was originally introduced during the very brief kingdom years after independence with Idris I. After Gaddafi came in 1969 in a coup, he replaced the flag, first with the Federation of Arab Republics with Egypt and Syria. Remember in the Egypt episode, we talked about how they all tried to become like one country, but didn't really last very long long. And then shortly after that, he changed it to the monochromatic green flag, which was, for the longest time, the only flag in the world that only had one color and no design. It was supposed to symbolize both Islam and his political ideology, which was written down in the Green Book. Prior to all of that, they were part of two emirates, one in Cyrenaica and one of Fezzan Ghedamis. They had similar flags, but they were just different colors. Oh yeah, and they were under the Italian, French, and British at one point during occupation years. Yada, 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 you get that. Now the coat of arms, which kind of technically doesn't exist. As a de facto symbol, they just kind of use the crescent and star, and that's kind of what they put on their passports. However, historically, they did have a few coat of arms. Under the Italians, they used this one, which surprisingly used the ancient extinct silphium plant from Cyrene that we talked about in the episode. Of course, of everything you could have put in the coat of arms, it had to be the symbol of sex-crazed hedonism, but okay. There was also a palm tree and a fasces, which is like the most Italian thing you could use. Under the Short Kingdom years, there was a royal coat of arms, which used crowns and crescents and gold frames. And of course, under the Arab Federation years, they used the same emblem as Egypt and Syria with a golden eagle and a scroll. Otherwise, yeah, there's really not too much to expound on after that. I mean, if their flag still was the solid green flag, then this episode would have been like 2 minutes shorter, but cool. All right, I guess that's about it. You know what time it is? It's time for Geography fan mail time. All right, you know how we start these things? Postcards and letters first. All right, surprisingly, we only got 2 postcards this week. This one is from Farhan from Sabah, Malaysia. Oliver is Austrian, but he visited Cabo Verde. Did you guys watch the Cabo Verde episode? I recommend it. Brian from Taiwan. Republic of China disputed with People's Republic of China. Hey Barbs, this might be late, but Happy Chinese New Year from Taiwan. Here's a scroll you can put on your door or any place really. It says, Happy Year of the Dog. 过年快乐. I probably butchered the tones, but you get the point. Also, can you say hi to my son Liam? He is 3 years old. Hey Liam! Alright, we got something from Qatar. Hello, I'm Marina. I'm Filipino, homeschooled teen living in Doha, Qatar. And of course they drew the Qatari and Filipino flags. This is from Korea, South Korea. Hey Barbs, my name is Bara. I'm a volunteer at the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, South Korea. I'm here with our National Olympic Committee, the Czech Olympic Committee. Oh, so you're Czech. I have sent you some Czech Olympic badges. Dude, these are like official Olympic Committee badges from Czechia? Bic from Ladera Ranch, California. What the heck is this? Oh! What the? Hey Barbs, I'm Bic. I really love your channel because it teaches me so much about the world. I drew a Bahamian flag here for you, and I have sent shedded snake skin. Why? Because. Bic, this is weird. I mean, like, what do I even do with it? I'm at a loss for words. I've never had something like this sent to me. Well, actually, that Australian person did send me a fox head that one time. Alright, I think your name is, Rupus from New York. Hey Barbs, I've been a subscriber since the Cameroon episode. I found your channel before I was deployed to Bahrain. I had no idea what Bahrain was about, and not only learned about it, but also used the video to calm the nerves of my family and friends. Okay, well, first of all, Rudis, just like I always do with military personnel, salute, thank you for your service. Second of all, well, I was born and raised in New York, but my family is from the Dominican Republic. You are definitely right about the merengue thing. My grandfather, even though he was blind and couldn't walk, still did the merengue. Also, I sent a Challenger coin from my deployment. Consider it as a thank you for helping me learn about the world. And this is crazy. A Challenger coin. This is, why do you guys send me like your honorable items? Like, I didn't do anything to earn these. But thank you. It's an honor I don't deserve. Thank you. Now here's the cool thing. I have 2 Californians, Leon and Ryan. They each like drew flags of the world. And off of that, we have 2 people from Wisconsin. We got Isaac, who is Lebanese American, and we have Lee, and he sends these nice postcards. Now, for those you don't know, Wisconsin is kind of like the Comedy Central of America. Some of our best comedians come from Wisconsin. We got this package from Switzerland, and I'm sorry, but it kind of got a little smashed in the mail. Bonjour de la Suisse. Ah, another letter in French. Je vous écris de la Suisse, comme vous voulez apprendre le français. By the way, guys, everybody, toutes les personnes, si vous voulez, vous pouvez m'écrire en français dans vos lettres. En fait, il y a longtemps, j'ai reçu beaucoup de lettres en français. How come it stopped? J'habite à Marly, dans une des régions la plus belle de Suisse, dans le canton de Fribourg. La ville de Fribourg est une très belle ville médiévale comme la ville de Bern. Fribourg. Oh, this is cool. I got something from Bahrain. And check it out. This is literally a Bahraini postage stamp. It's a 1 dinar postage stamp. It's so huge. Of course, the Bahrain flag. Cool postcard of the bridge. Half dinar banknote. Hey Barbs, my name is Munter. I sent this really cool postcard. Hope you like it. Alright, next up, Magnus from Norway. Magnus, that is such a Nordic name, Magnus. I've sent you some coins, Norwegian Norwegian milk chocolate, and 17th of May stuff. The 17th of May is Norway's Constitution Day. Interesting. Okay, so I guess you click these on the 17th of May, right? I got a package from Arizona. I've always been into geography and flags and stuff. I thought you would like the flag of my state, the best state, Jake. Of course, Arizona state flag. This is from Luxembourg. Oh, it's a book. An American in Luxembourg. He wrote on the first page, "Hey Barbie, as the title of the book may reveal, this is a book written by an American from Seattle who moved to Luxembourg. Hope you'll enjoy it and get some useful input for the Luxembourg episode." Alright, next up, Kaylin from Duluth, Georgia. There's a Duluth in Georgia? I thought that was only Minnesota. Yeah, what do we got here? Kaylin, I know for a fact that if you sent this, then that means you probably follow me on some other stuff besides geography now, right? I once mentioned how I want to learn how to play ukulele, and you were listening. My name is Kaylin, I'm 22 years old, and I've been happily subscribed since the Equatorial Guinea episode. I grew up in Liberia and wanted to learn an instrument too. I'm very flattered that you found an interest in my little old country, Liberia. I do encourage you to visit someday. Trust me, I really would like to visit Liberia. And finally, this package from Jim Thomas from New Hampshire. For those of you that have been following this channel for a while, you will know exactly what this is. The flag of Bandia Terra. You literally made a flag of Bandia Terra. This is insane. Even I have never made myself a flag of Bandia Terra. And I invented it! This is honorable. I feel like I'm one of those Wakanda kings. Hey Barbs, love your channel. Thought you ought to have a souvenir from Bandia Terra. Saw it at the airport while I was visiting last April and could not resist. I'm sorry everybody else, but Jim wins this episode. And speaking of winning, it is time for a return address contest. I put all of your return addresses in this bag and I pick one out, and whoever wins, I send a little gift to. Alright, so I'm just gonna pick one out. Not gonna look. Just gonna pick one. Let's see. John from Cardiff, Wales. You just won. Okay guys, well this was really cool. Thank you so much for sending all these things, putting your hometowns and home countries on display. I really appreciate it. And remember, you can send stuff to the other people that have been on Geography Now, not just me. In the meantime, subscribe to this channel if you'd like. You've just been flagged. Stay cool, stay tuned.